Chelsea. What's up, Chelsea?
What's going on?
What are you doing?
I'm sitting in my car hiding from my kids, so it's quiet.
If you want to, you can just hang up and just put the seat back and just sleep for a little while. That'd be awesome.
This conversation is for sure going to take at least an hour and a half.
Excellent. I'm in. Let's do it. So what's up?
Perfect. We were wondering, my husband and I, we are kind of sick in the life of travel ball with our 10-year-old.
Oh, good.
And so I'm wondering if, in the long run, are we going to regret the amount of time and brain space and finances we spend on softball?
What is bringing you? Why is this question bubbling up?
So I am we have 4 kids, and we kind of parent with the later is longer. We get you as adults far later, hopefully, than we do as kids. And so, my goal, we want to raise a functioning family unit that later we can still be functioning. There's too many dysfunctional adult kids running around. Not the goal. So,
well, don't do too good of a job, because you're going to put me out of a job.
Well,
I'm just playing. I think I got plenty of work to do. I got plenty,
do, right?
Yeah.
There's plenty of people out there that need you. I think we look at the amount of time we put in. She's 10. She has really big dreams, and I always want to support that, right? We always want to support them in their dreams and their endeavors. We are in some form practicing 6-7 days a week.
Yeah.
It is a lot of family time. And so, and as the others get a little older, I don't even know how it would be feasible to do this for 4 of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
right. What are her dreams? What are your 10-year-old's dreams?
Currently, she wants to play for Oklahoma, because what 10-year-old softball player doesn't, right?
Any softball kid from Texas does not want to play for Oklahoma.
That's fair.
That was just my Red River joke. But okay, so she wants to go to college and play, and she wants to play at the highest level.
Right.
And by the way, she wants to play at the highest level that exists right now through her 10-year-old lens, right?
Right.
Or let me put it this way. There's 0% chance that in 8 years, Oklahoma is still the number 1 team in the world, right? Or in the country or whatever.
Correct.
But she wants to go to college.
Right.
So I'm just going to go ahead and get myself canceled. Okay? And I'm saying this as a sports fanatic, as somebody who played what I would call the early origins of travel ball before it just became this high dollar business that it's like a big fire, and the wood that we use are children.
Right.
And the fire is not for the kids, it's for the adults. And so I would tell you, I have a 13-year-old and I've got an 8-year-old. I also would love for them to play college sports if they wanted to. I also require them to do one physical activity every semester, or every trimester, if you will. So my son runs. I ran track in college. He's a cross country kid. My daughter has done gymnastics. Now she's in taekwondo. My son will end up in jiu-jitsu class. So all these things are important. So I'm saying that as a context to also say travel sports are destroying American families, period.
Okay.
Period. And you, as a well-tuned-in mom, are feeling the pressure, if you don't do this, from these external coaches. If you don't do this, then your kid's not going to make this team. And if they don't make this team, there's no way they're going to get on this. And if they're not on this team, then how are they going to, right? You feel that. And it makes sense. And you have a 10-year-old telling you, I love this. I love it. I love it. I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. And then you got that feeling in your mom gut that something's off.
Right.
Fair?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fair. That's kind of where I'm at, is that she takes the initiative and wants to practice and wants to put in the extra work. And I love that it's teaching her that hard work pays off. And I love some of the lessons, but it is, you're right. My mom gut is saying, is this steering us in the direction we want to go? This
is not every kid. Okay. But this is many, I would say the vast majority of kids find themselves in a strange, the nerd word is recursive relationship with the adults in their life. Their bodies are highly, highly, highly attuned to when the safe adults in their life, you and your husband, look at them and your eyes get that very particular size that says, "Oh yeah, I'm proud of you." And it starts at a very, very young age.
Right.
And kids become so attuned to that, and they will chase it and chase it and chase it and chase it. It's similar to, I have inadvertently, I didn't mean to do this, because I eat really clean most of the time in our house.
I'm here for that.
When I go get a donut or an ice cream or something like that, I always bring my kids. I'm like, let's go break the bank. And they're like, ah. You know what I've trained them? Is that special times require poisoning yourself. Close connection with dad equals this. And so what they do is they're always asking, can I have some ice cream? Can I have some ice cream? Can I have some ice cream? And yes, ice cream's good. The sugar's good and addictive and blah, blah, blah. What they're really asking is, I want to connect with dad, and I know how to do that.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
It's a pattern now.
It's a pattern, but the pattern is not about ball. The pattern is about, I want to make mom and dad see me and love me, and I found the way to do it. Right. And all the other adults in the world, and and my fellow classmates. So it begins to expand really quickly.
Yeah.
And your 10-year-old finds herself as the head of household. She decides what the family's doing on the weekend. She decides where the money's spent. She decides what y'all eat. And you see what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean, it's when I think about how much money we've spent for a fourth grade, an elementary schooler's softball hobby, it's laughable.
Right. If you just invested that into 529, you'd be able to pay outright for Oklahoma, and she could be the best intramural softball player in the whole, right?
Buy Oklahoma soon.
So here's my thought on it. It's our job to ignite passion in our kids, to support them, and to set boundaries for them.
Right.
And so like I say, my kids have to do something athletic, something outside, something as a part of a team. That's so good. And they also have to know this house does not revolve around you. You have a seat in the middle or the back of the bus that is driving, because it revolves around me and your mom. And it's
I like that.
But that means you got to say no.
Yeah.
That means you got to say, I'm going to take some time off. Now, here's some physiology. And this isn't just me trying to make social science arguments. This is coming directly from my close friends, and I've been at multiple universities, and friends that are athletic trainers. And what they are screaming to a chorus of no one will listen to them, is that these kids who become really good at a young age, they show some proclivity to soccer or to baseball or to softball or whatever it is, and they just, their whole world shrinks overnight to that sport, and they get a batting coach and a pitching coach. They get on a travel team. They play fall ball, summer ball, spring ball.
Mm-hmm.
What they're finding is joint overuse injuries in 18-year-olds that are usually reserved for geriatric populations.
Hey, we have a 10-year-old with peroneal tendonitis right now.
Right. And so here's the way to avoid that is they have to take some time off from that sport.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Tendonitis in a 10-year-old is not, I mean, that's all you need right there. Her body is saying no.
Right.
Right? Her body's saying no.
Right.
And the way you combat that is soccer. Tell her to go play YMCA soccer, or tell her to go do a taekwondo class. Move your body, but do it differently. Use different muscles, different movements, lateral patterns instead of front and back. You see what I'm saying? It's about treating this whole person, not professionalizing a 10-year-old. So your mom instincts are right on.
That's what, I've been struggling. I don't want to crush your little dreams, but I'm also, it's a lot, for 10.
I don't know of, and again, I don't have the data in front of me, and somebody's going to, if you have something different, email it to the show, johndelony.com/ask. I want to know the meta-analysis, put the link to the paper in that note and send it to me if you have it. I'm talking to the listeners out there. I know of zero studies that suggest travel ball equals college scholarship. Over and above a regular kid who develops normally, who then goes on to perform at college.
And I'm not even, the amount of players that get scholarships anyways are so small. That's not even in my mind for something like softball because
Well, can I tell you, it's actually not true. Tons of kids get scholarships.
for softball, really.
But at D2 schools, at
Yeah.
1A, D1, 2A schools, DA, right? The NAI schools, it's not NAI anymore, but there's so many opportunities to play. So many.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And who knows what happens when she blows her knee out in her junior year of high school. Or, like me, I dropped the baton in first place as a anchoring the mile relay team my senior year. And I never wanted to run again.
Yeah.
And I went to college and I farted around for a year. I trained with the team, never ran a meet, and then I ended up moving on. It absolutely sucked the soul out of me. And not so much like, oh, you got to get back on the horse. I realized I'm not passionate about this anymore.
I don't want back on this horse.
Yeah, it wasn't like I couldn't get back on. I just didn't want to.
Right. And
it took a earth-shattering moment to bring me to that. All that to say is, I'll reiterate it. The obsession with travel to youth sports is pulling our families apart. It's disintegrating. I would put it right underneath social media as a cancer. It's not good. I don't see in 10 years that it's still functioning in the same way. Parents can't afford it. You got 3 other kids down the pipeline. You can't, the math on the calendar doesn't work, right? It's just chaos. It's chaos.
Yeah. Season is chaos. So I'm glad to hear. I mean,
what is husband going to say?
Oh, he's the best. Are you kidding? I mean, he's I think that, we're big onto like moving your body and eating healthy, and he loves supporting her. But I think that we both feel like maybe it's a little out of balance right now. Yeah. So I think we know, it's just a matter of trying to still let her do what she loves, maybe in a not as intense form.
Well, and I think letting her know, hey, if you do want to go play college ball, what the college sports professionals and even the professional coach professionals will tell you. I mean, people always want to throw like LeBron around, right? So move LeBron off. He is an N=1. There's only one LeBron, right?
Right.
They'll tell you, I don't know anything about you at 10 years old.
Right.
Puberty changes everything. Passion changes everything. Dad gets sick when she's a freshman in high school, changes everything. I mean, who knows what happens? Mm-hmm. College is basically half her life away. And the idea that we are trying to invest in this thing. And so I think letting her know, if you want to go to college, the best thing to do is you got to play a bunch of different sports. Like, oh, okay, cool. And you got to do some really intensely and some just go be silly and have fun with your friends.
Right.
And letting her know, no, if you're still working towards your goal, it's not as though you're cashing out on your goal. But if that's the path forward, because the other path is just going to lead you to shoulder surgery at the age of 17, a knee surgery at the age of 18, and then you're going to have knee replacement and hip replacement surgery in your 40s. We're not doing that. I love you too much.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah. I mean, you said the other day on a show, love your kids with boundaries. Why are you afraid to love your kids with boundaries? And that has stuck with me because I'm like, that's definitely not a strong point of mine.
Well, it's hard, and especially when the chorus of parents and coaches around us tell us, if you don't do this, you're failing your kid.
Yeah.
And that dreaded phrase for every parent, your kid's going to get behind.
Right.
And all of us have felt behind at one time or another, and we never want our kids to feel that. And I want to tell you, that's a myth. It's not true, especially for a 10-year-old. 18-year-old, she's 18 and decides to take off her senior year. Yeah, going to college is going to be really hard on a college scholarship, right? That's going to be hard. If she's there and she's all in, she's on the varsity team, she's all state, dude, go all in on that. I'm all about that. But she's 10. We've
tried like reframing it for her. Like, you have to give room for your dreams to change, because when I was 10, like I couldn't even dream up what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? So you're 10, you have to allow the space for like your dream to change and that to be okay. Like, don't grip that so tightly. We try to hammer home so much, like who you are is more important than what you do.
Yes. Good on you guys. That means y'all are doing it right. And let me promise you one last thing.
What?
I don't know much, But I can guarantee you the NCAA looks different if it even exists at all in 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, this isn't sustainable at all.
It will be different. With the NIL, all the money that's flown in, it's just going to change. It will not exist in its current iteration. None of that matters. What matters is, you know what? My kids would eat ice cream 24/7, 365. They would sit there and rot their brains on social media if I gave it to them. If I taught my kids how to drink alcohol early on, they would begin to crave it, more than likely. So why do I tell you that? What my 10-year-old really wants to do is not going to drive every action, every dollar, every minute of our family. Because my 10-year-old, what they want to do, that has to come in a boundary that I, as a parent, am looking at saying, here's what's best for you. I appreciate what you want to do. I hear you. But here's what's best for you. So here's what we're going to do. Whew. Moms and dads, take a season off. Play a different sport. Be present with your kids. Show up. Don't burn the family financial stature to the ground over a 9-year-old soccer game. I love what you said, Chelsea. I want to create a sustainable family unit that goes into adulthood. You are right on. Good for you.